making a video on tips and tricks on how to start a business, specifically strawberries/sweets, and kind of just stuff that I wish people would have told me when I started. This will be kind of like a Q&A. I'll be having my partner ask me the questions and I'll answer them. So if you guys see me looking down for anything, it's just I'm looking at the bullet points just so I can go over everything specifically and kind of just a general idea on how to price as well. So let's get started.
Okay, so first question. What motivated you to start your business?
What motivated me? So what motivated me, I feel, was kind of, I lost my job in January, and it was also the kind of start of the pandemic, and I feel like sweets has kind of always been something I like to make, not professionally or anything, just kind of for fun when I'm bored or for family events. I'm always like, oh, like let me do it. Like I kind of just always something I've enjoyed, and I think just losing my job kind of like was a push in the right direction. So I feel like that's kind of what motivated me, especially like me not really wanting to be out like at a real job. I think doing the strawberries was kind of something that let me be at home, let me spend quality time with my family, kind of just something I actually loved doing rather than waking up like being miserable at a 9-to-5 job that I know I was not gonna benefit anything out of.
What are the basic essentials mentally to start a business?
For me personally, I think before you start a business like this or any small business, I feel like you need to be in the correct mindset. I think that depression is a real thing and a really major thing that a lot of people suffer with, and everyone kind of just tries to shun it, like by acting happy, by working, by doing this and doing that. But I feel like small businesses, you have to have a healthy mentality. You just have to be okay with yourself, okay with the world around you, okay with the people around you, before you can actually try and start trying to make other people feel better. And I feel like that'll also get you a great outcome, like with your work, the quality of your work and stuff like that. I at first went into it like, super depressed. I lost my job, I have a daughter, so I was like, I can't provide for her, I can't do anything for her, like I feel useless, let me just start doing this, And when I started my business, it was really just so I could pay my rent. And like that's not the mindset you want to have when doing something like that. You don't want to just gain the money off of it. You actually want to help people, like make people feel better, like just kind of satisfy people's cravings, stuff like that. And I feel like if you don't have a good mindset, you kind of will you'll slow yourself down. And I personally did not start off with a good mindset, and I drove myself into a major depression where I felt like this is not even fun for me. Like I hate doing this, I don't want to do this, I hate having orders, like why do people keep messaging me? Like it was like tearing down what I loved to do, and I was like, I need to take a step back. I need to get my mind right. I need to be better. And, I'm not saying because you're a mom, you need to be happy. But because I am a mom, I needed to step back, and I needed to do better for myself, for my daughter, just for my business, like my followers. Like I needed to be okay first before I could try to put up a front. And, that helped a lot. Like, you want to make sure you have a good support system, because that will also help you. If you go into this alone, you're kind of like, oh, no one really cares, and there you go, downward, negative. So you want to make sure that you have, even if it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, your sister, your brother, like your coach, teachers, anyone, as long as you have someone on your side, you will drastically see your mindset change from, why am I doing this, to, someone does believe in me, like, let me do better for them. And that's what you need. And that also ties in with like confidence. You need to have confidence with yourself, with your work, before you could even go out there and try to promote something that you don't even feel confident in. You want to make sure that when you post that, you say, dang, like that's really good, or like, wow, I didn't know I was capable of doing that. You don't want to post it and be like, well, that wasn't my best work, well, that wasn't this, because you are gonna have those days where, you know, like, I shouldn't have sold that, like, I should have given them a discount, like, stuff like that. But there's always room for improvement. But, you know, there's not room for you to act happy when you're not happy. And I feel like making sure that your mindset is okay before you start something like this is, like, you know, 100% your main priority first, before anything, before deciding a name, before doing this, before starting your Instagram, before like making that first strawberry. You want to make sure that, am I okay? Will I be okay? Because, you know, you can make yourself really sick. I was not eating, I was not sleeping, I was not doing any, I could care less about myself just because I was so set on make sure my order's good, make sure my order's good. Like, you know, I can't let people be disappointed in me. Like, I have to make sure it's good, I have to make sure it's good. So I feel like you need to make sure 100% that your mind is not perfect, because nobody's perfect, but make sure that your mind is like, okay, let's do this, let's grow together. And making sure that you're willing to accept those failures to be able to strive harder and be able to just be confident in everything you put out, because at the end of the day, everyone has room to grow. Like, there's no 100% perfect strawberry, you know. So I think just making sure you have a healthy mindset, a good support system, and, like, you know, skyrocket confidence, because that will help you in the long run when, you know, you do get those nasty people that don't quite believe in you. But, you know, with those three things, that one person means nothing in my eyes. So
okay. What materials do you need to start your business?
When I started, for sure, you know, you want to make sure that you'll be able to have a workspace for yourself. Like, it's not, you know, not everyone lives in a super quiet household, but it's just a quiet, clean, just little corner, a little table, just anywhere where you have free range, just even for an hour or two, just somewhere where you can be by yourself, alone, to be able to work and just be able to just kind of do what you need to do. I personally like being left alone when I do my orders, just because it's my place of soothing, like, it's my place where I can de-stress, and yeah, just kind of somewhere where you can work by yourself, be by yourself. I personally live, before, when I started my business, I had my own place, so I had my own kitchen, you know, everyone knew. It was only a house of two, so the other person knew to stay out of the kitchen. Around that time, I had the kitchen to myself, you know, it was good, and, you know, I had my space, I had my time to de-stress. But now I live with four little boys that, you know, bug. And so, you know, when I go in the kitchen, they know that it's my time, that I de-stress there. So you just want to make sure you have a clean workspace, just somewhere where you can do yourself, be by yourself, just kind of to relax and just kind of enjoy doing it, rather than being annoyed that there's people asking you questions, people in the kitchen. You also want to make sure that you have good produce. So for strawberries, before, I used to get it from a local vendor. He would sell like bulk strawberries, and now that strawberries aren't really in season, I've had to go to many different grocery stores like Walmart, Smith's, where else? Winco, Costco, Target. So what you want to do is you kind of just want to take a day to go around, see who has the best produce, who has the cheapest produce, you know, who updates their produce, not updates, like stocks, consistently has the strawberries that you need, stuff like that. So, you know, you just want to make sure that you're putting out the best strawberries forward. And sometimes it's hard, especially on off season, but, you know, you have to take the time to go around, see who has the best strawberries, who, you know, who will always have strawberries, stuff like that. You also want to make sure you have packaging. I know when I started, I had little to no packaging. I was on such a tight budget. I actually packaged my orders in these Dollar Tree gift boxes. It says 3 count, but I was so cheap and I needed packaging that I wouldn't put lids on my boxes of strawberries, so I could have 6 boxes rather than 3 boxes. So I literally would just put my strawberries in here and send it out like that, with no packaging, no covering, nothing, just here you go, like there's your strawberries. So I know for one that's not very sanitary, so you know, but you have to do what you have to do. So that's what I used for a very long time. And honestly, with a lot of research and stuff like that, like you find what packaging works for you, you find what you think looks nice. Everyone can package their like strawberries differently. There's no law that says you have to use this box, but you just have to explore with different options, see what works best for you. I thankfully did so much research. I found a box company that sells boxes, you know, that I like different variety of boxes as well too. It's not just one big bulk box, and you know, different colors, stuff like that. But also again, you just have to go to the stores, see what you can find, see like, oh, I like this box, like what can it be used for? I don't know, I'll take it home and I'll try some strawberries in there. Just kind of like, it's kind of like a trial and error. Like you just need to go to the stores, see what works for you. Like, you know, those worked for me when I started, but you know, you might not like the way it looks, stuff like that. So it's just like, you have to personally go out there and put yourself out there and just search all day. Like, you know, open 100 tabs in your phone just to get to the one box. Like, you know, watch a million TikToks, read the 3,000 comments, like just to find that one box. Thankfully, like this is what I'm here for. I will link down where I get my boxes now from and stuff like that. But again, it's not like you have to use them, but it will help for anyone who wants to start off that, you know, just doesn't know where to start. You also want to make sure you save. I wish someone would have told me to save, because when I started this, I went into this so headstrong that I want to make this, only having like $200, which, like, you know, to some may sound like, oh, what's wrong with $200? You know, when you live alone, when you have a daughter, like $200 is nothing. Like, you know, you need diapers, you need to pay rent, you have light, like just so much bills, just everything adds up. So, you know, to me, those 200 weren't even like thought of to use for my business. I just went out and I went to the store and I bought like what, $50 worth of containers just so I could make my Mother's Day sale. So, you know, that's $50 taken out of 200 that could have been used for something else. So if you are gonna start this, you know, make sure to work for it pretty much. Like work, save so you can buy nice packaging, save so you don't have to use, you know, Dollar Tree boxes. Just save so you don't have to use your money, like your personal money that you worked hard for. Like, you know, if you get paid, if you have a regular job, not that this is not a regular job, just like if you go to like a workplace and you get checks, like, you know, save 20 here and then, like save 40, save just whatever you can, just so when you do want to start, you can start off good. You can start off with good packaging, you can start off with good strawberries. You know, you can get stickers made, you can get, you know, everything like you want, like you know, just stuff to make your packaging better. Like edible glitters are super expensive, like edible images, super expensive. So, you know, you want to make sure you'll be able to save so you could buy a printer rather than an image, you know, so you could buy bulk glitter rather than buying one glitter and, you know, having to make that work for like 300 strawberries. So you want to make sure you save just so you can start off with good packaging, good, just anything, honestly. Like, you know, if you don't have a workspace, save, buy a little table. If you don't have, like, I don't know, what else? Just the materials you need, you know, save. Like, I know when I started, all I could really make was chocolate strawberries and vanilla flavored strawberries, because, you know, I couldn't afford molds, I couldn't afford glitters, I couldn't afford, you know, just stuff to enhance my strawberries. So they were kind of plain for a very long time. So you want to make sure, like, you know, it just sounds like, oh, this mold is $1, but, you know, if you want 20 of those, like, that adds up, you know, shipping adds up, stuff like that. And, you know, that's also where you want to grow in, is like your social media. You want to make sure that, you know, your accounts, you make a specific account for your business. Don't use your personal account. You know, don't switch your personal to your business. Like, just make a whole new business account, like start fresh. You know, just kind of like act like, you know, you don't even own that business. Just make a whole new one. Just start posting pictures, have people follow. You can follow people you know. And that's where you'll find other small businesses. You'll find other strawberry people, just anyone else in the same work field. And, you know, they also can give you tips and tricks. You just want to make sure that your business is separate from your personal. You know, you don't want to post about what you're having for lunch on your business like you would on your personal, you know. You just want to make sure you're always advertising your stuff, you know. On your personal, yeah, advertise your business one, you know. Go follow my page, go do this, like, you know, giveaway soon, stuff like that. But you just want to make sure that you're definitely keeping your personal and your business separate from each other, because it's just more professional, in my opinion, and I feel like it'll also help you gain a different following and gain you like different opportunities that you wouldn't on your personal. You know, make sure you make your Instagram business. Don't make it personal. Make sure you make just anything you put out there like content worthy, where people will be like, okay, like I see what she's doing, like let me share this, you know, rather than having to scroll through your vacation pictures and, you know, what you did on a date, you know, just stuff like that, just so it's easier, it's cleaner, it's neater, and, you know, it'll help you get noticed by a different following of people and just help you get put out there.
I guess it kind of ties into what you said, but what did you do with the money that you began making when you first started your business?
So when I started my business, I will 100% take responsibility that I did it all for the wrong reasons. I started because I needed to pay my rent, and my rent needed to get paid ASAP. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have this. I started my business May 7th. So right before Mother's Day, so I was like, I'm gonna have this huge Mother's Day sale. I have like nothing going into it. Like, I'm just gonna spend the last of what I have to make this happen. I sold about 50 to 70 bouquets of strawberries. I sold 25 strawberries for $25. So, you know, that was more than enough to help me cover what I needed for my rent. But, you know, that's not what I wanted it for. Like, looking back now, like, you know, I was really ripping myself off with, you know, that many strawberries for so little. Like, that's why I made so many sales. And, you know, at that point in time, I was like, okay, like, you know, whatever, I don't care. Like, I need, like, the money I need to do this. Like, I need to. And, you know, at first I was like, you know, like, but that's not the right reasons to be doing it. Like, you want to make sure when you make an order that you can invest it back into your business. You want to make sure that you can keep your personal money from your business money. Like, I wish that I could have used those $900 to go buy better packaging, buy glitter, buy this, buy that, just buy stuff for my business rather than having to pay my rent. So when I get an order, I make sure, like, okay, so their order is gonna take up 2 boxes. Let me save this much money so I can order those 2 boxes again. I don't use it, oh, I kind of want a new purse, let me go buy a new purse. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, especially with my business money, you want to make sure you're investing it back into your business. That's the only way that your business will grow and prosper and actually be good quality. You know, you want to make sure that you're able to, you know, profit off your stuff, be able to, you know, just do more stuff for your business rather than yourself, because at the end of the day, like, people are paying you to do good stuff for them, so you want to make sure that you're handing out your best stuff that you can in that point in time. So just whenever you get an order, you want to make sure, like, okay, if I used up this much material, make sure you put money aside to rebuy that material. If not that same material, some better. Like, okay, you know, I had to use a glitter, so I charged them extra, so now I can afford to buy 2 more glitters. Just making sure you're investing your business money into your business. That's the only way. Like, that's the only way I can put it, to where you will have good quality stuff. You will do good things when you invest back into your own business.
Do you ever take time off?
When I started my business, I did not take time off. I didn't even have days off. I just, you know, I was so hungry for orders. I was just so like, I need orders. So anytime everyone said like, oh, can I have this today? I'll be like, yeah, you know, even if I was getting ready to head out the door to go do something, I'd be like, yeah, you know, I'll make it. Like, just give me 2 hours. Like, I was just so like in that business mentality, like, you know, any order is better than no order. So I was like, I need to do it. I need to like fulfill their order. I need to, or else, you know, they're gonna be disappointed. And that's also where a lot of my depression came from, because I had no time for myself. I had no time for my family. Like, you know, I just had no time for anything, and I was really starting to get super upset with myself because, you know, my daughter was becoming very distant, and, you know, that's not something a parent wants to see from their child. So I kind of just was like, you know, I need to put an end to this. I need to take care of my mental health. Like, I need to take care of my health, period. Like, you know, I would take on orders from like 8 in the morning to 8 at night. I would not eat anything. I would not drink anything because I felt like there was no time. You know, there's always time. You need to be able to know how to manage how many orders you can take in a day, how much time it'll take you, so you know, okay, like I have a break from 1 and 2, I'll take a lunch break, I'll take a breather, I'll just, you know, decompress, like just be yourself. Just, you know, as much as I say that it de-stresses me, it also stresses me out. So like, you know, I was not eating, I was not drinking, I was just like, no, there's no time, like I have to. And that's also like time management as well. Like, you need to make sure that you're able to fulfill the time that you say you can have their order. I used to struggle with that a lot. I would say, yeah, I can have your order at 2:30 and end up having it like at 3:30 because I didn't plan my time right, because I ended up, you know, getting flustered because something went wrong. You know, something always goes wrong. Like, you always want to plan for the worst. Like, you know, what if I don't have strawberries in the fridge like I thought I did? Then you have to run to the store, and it just happens that the store doesn't have strawberries. So you just want to make sure that you're prepared, but you also want to make sure that you're not taking on orders back to back to back to back. You want to make sure that you can clean up, but you can sanitize, take a break, eat a little snack, you know, just get back to people, just get back to reality, and then start again. You don't want to back to back to back. And especially now, like after what I've been through, you want to make sure you take days off, because, you know, working myself to the ground, like I said, was making me hate what I was doing, was making me hate my job. Like, you know, I hated waking up to have to make orders. I was like, why do I have to do this? Like, you know, why did I even start this? So you just want to make sure that you're taking time off. Like, even if it's a day, or like if you like, okay, I won't be taking orders for half the day, but the other half I will. Like, just make sure, like, go to the park, go out, like, you know, if you have like children like I do, you know, take them on a date. If you have a significant other, like, you know, take a lunch break, stuff like that. Like, you know, just hang out, be with your family. Just make sure like you're letting them know that you're there and that you're not like a business psycho like I was. So you just want to make sure that you're taking days off, especially holidays. Holidays are the most special day, and that's like the beauty of having your own business. You make your schedule. So I don't work holidays. Last year I worked on Mother's Day. I hated it because I'm a mom. So, you know, I was mad at myself, but you know, you have to do what you have to do. But just make sure you're taking days, even if it's 1 day, half a day, 2 days. You know, just take time to relax, see what you need to do, stuff like that.
Do you require deposits?
When I started my business, I did not take deposits, and I wish I would have, because people were placing orders, and you know, I would make them, and then I would get that message like, oh, I can't go anymore, or, oh, I can't do this, after I had put so much time, money, effort, like just a whole waste of product on something that didn't even come through. And I wish someone would have told me, like, take deposits, do this, do that, because when you get deposits, you know, if someone was like, oh, I want a dozen just regular chocolate berries, okay, they give you a deposit, you can go buy the chocolate, you can go buy the strawberries with that money from their order. And that's, again, investing back into your business, rather than, oh, I want a dozen chocolate berries, but I have to pay you in full that day, and then you have to go out of your pocket, go buy everything, go do that, go do this. And for a while it will be like that. You will have to pay for stuff, you know, out of your own pocket. But again, that's all just in the make of the business. You just have to be able to be like, you know, I need a deposit so I can save your spot, yada yada yada. You know, you don't want to give someone a spot if they're not going to come through, when you could have given it to someone who would have given you their time, like, and more and stuff like that. So you just want to make sure you do a deposit, especially a non-refundable deposit, just so like if they do cancel on you, you're like, okay, well, you know, I had already bought the stuff for your order, we had discussed, yada yada yada. I personally do 50% non-refundable deposit. So you know, they place their order, you give them a total, you say, okay, you know, this is your total, this is how much your deposit will be, you'll need to pay it before I can put you on my calendar, stuff like that, just so you can save yourself product, and you know, they can, you know that you put a lot of time and effort into your work. And it just shows, like, deposits just kind of make you a little bit more professional, because they know that you're serious, they know that you actually care about what you do, and they're not gonna try to take advantage of you, because that's also their hard-earned money that you're holding on to. And if at the end of the day they don't want it, you know, they let their money go to waste, and you know, thankfully you knew and you have, you know, that to hold. When people hear deposits, it scares them away for whatever reason, and you just want to make sure, like, you know, you just want to make sure that at the end of the day you're looking out for yourself, you're looking out for your business. Like, you just want to make sure that you're knowing that they're actually supporting your work rather than just wasting your time. You just want to make it clear at any order, like, you know, this is my rule, I do have deposits. Even if you don't want to start with 50% deposit, even if you start with like, oh, I need a $20 deposit, like I need this, I need that, like, you just need to make sure that you're doing deposits and not being scared, because you know, the people who actually support you will pay you the deposit. You know, the people who support you will actually take the time to, you know, place their orders, pay the deposit without giving you a hard time about it. Just make sure that you put it in your bio, you put it in every message, like make sure you confirm everything at the end of every conversation. Just make sure to confirm that their order will not be finalized until the deposit is made, and that will also help you see how many spots you have available for that day, stuff like that. So you know, deposits are huge. Deposits are super huge.
And that ties into the next question: do you deliver?
So for deliveries, I do deliver. I do local deliveries. So you know, sometimes boyfriends will order for their girlfriends and they want me to take it to their work, stuff like that. At first, I was only charging what, $5? I was charging $5 for a fee, for delivery fees. And you know, I used to live super like on the outskirts of town, so it was kind of like a super far drive, and I was like, you know, I'm only getting $5 when gas is about $5, you know, and you know, it's just, you know, kind of time you have to take out of your day where you could have been at home making another order to go deliver an order. And so at first I was like, no, like that's a little bit. So every person is different. I don't know, some people I know do like just a $15 delivery fee total. I do mine by mileage, so like for every 5 miles it's $5. So like 5 to 10, $5, 10 to 15, $10, 15 to 20, $15, 20 plus, $20. So you just want to make sure that, again, you're profiting. You know, you have to take your time, you have to take your gas, you know, you just never know what can happen on the road. Like, God forbid, you know, you're on your way and accidents happen. So, you know, you always want to be, it's almost like insurance with them for you. So you just kind of want to make sure that, you know, your delivery fees are realistic, that you're actually profiting off of it.
Does consistency matter?
So consistency does matter. So, you know, if you start a business, you know, and you're already like really known with your friends and stuff, and you get a lot of followers and people are always liking your stuff, yada yada yada, like you want to make sure that you're consistent with your posts, you're consistent with your orders, you're consistent just on everything. Like, even if it's your day off, like, you know, work on an order, post a picture of it. Like, practice an order, post a picture of it, just so people know that you're taking your business serious. Because if you just post one picture on Monday and then you don't post another one again in like 2 Tuesdays, like people are like, well, you know, is this even a real business, or is she just doing it for fun, or stuff like that. So you want to make sure you're consistent, whether it's with your orders, just informing your people about, you know, you just want to be like interactive with your following. You want to make sure like, hey, like I'll be taking the week off, but you know, I'll be back. You know, for now I'll be posting pictures, you know, of what I'd be working on, stuff like that. Like, or I'm working on some new stuff, I'll be closed for a couple days, but I'll keep you guys updated. You just want to make sure you're keeping them in the loop, because when, you know, you're not very consistent in posting or with orders, people get bored and they'll go through and they'll unfollow. They'll be like, oh, she probably stopped doing it, or oh, like, you know, it didn't go anywhere. Like, you know, even if you don't have orders for a whole week straight, you know, make a pretend order, post a picture, make something that you haven't made before, post it, say new thing. Like, make sure that your following know that you're serious about your work.
Does your line of work have an off season?
So when I started my business, I started strictly strawberries, and you know, I started in May, so it's kind of cold, so I was buying my strawberries from the store, and then summer came and I was buying it off a strawberry vendor. And you know, strawberries were great, they were big, they were full, they were just so sweet. And then winter hit and he left, so I had to start buying from Walmart. And there was days where I would go in and there was no strawberries. I would go to another Walmart, no strawberries. I went to like Smith's and there was like moldy strawberries. So I definitely see that the off season for strawberries is winter time, like Halloween through like New Year's. It sucks, because you know, when that's the only like line of work you have, you know, not being able to have your strawberries sucks. So you know, I started making cupcakes. You know, cake mix is always around. You know, you can make cake mix, like anything like that. You know, even if you're not interested in just being strictly desserts, you know, work on something else throughout the year, and then when that time comes, you can post it. Like, you can do this, you can do that. Like, just kind of not relying on your strawberry business for one thing. Unless you like want to do that, you know, you're more than welcome to just close down, or you know, make pretzels or stuff like that. Like, you just want to make sure you always have a backup plan, because you never know.
Should you be worried about your follower count?
No, and I only say that because when I started my business, I was letting myself get depressed because I had 2 followers on my Daffberriess page, or because I didn't have the amount of following that I wanted to, or that I was like, why even do it? Like, people don't care, stuff like that. Like, it doesn't matter if 2 people follow you or 2,000 people follow you. Like, you need to be, well, I need to be specifically like grateful for what you have. Like, you need to see that even if it's just those 2 followers, maybe those 2 followers buy everything that you post all the time. Maybe those 2 followers support you in everything that you need. Like, you know, it doesn't matter about the quantity, because even if you have 2,000 followers, not every person on your following is gonna order from you. Not every person on your following likes your stuff. So, you know, when you have those 2 people and they're constantly liking your stuff, constantly buying for you, like, that's what matters. And you know, it took me a long time to realize that, because I was always like, oh, I want more followers. Like, why is my page doing so bad? Like, stuff like that.
How do you stay organized when it comes to booking?
The way I stay organized, at first, I used to just get a notebook and pen, and I would just write down like, okay, you know, Jessica has an order, 2 dozen strawberries at this time for this day, and I would just, you know, just line by line by line by line, I would just fill paper with that. But just recently, actually, I came into these planners, and they actually really helpful. You know, like they have a calendar section, and then they have like this one with like the days and actual lines. So this helped me stay super organized, because for like the 14th specifically, I could write like how many orders I had today with the amount of people I have in that day. You know, I got a jumbo calendar, I got a whiteboard, and I'm looking this way because they're hung right here. But you know, you just want to make sure that you kind of have like a planner set up, not specifically this planner. You know, if paper and pen works for you just like that, like cool, but you want to make sure that you're able to organize your days by how many orders, by how many people, just stuff like that, like different types of orders. You want to make sure that you can keep your pending orders from your completed orders. So that would be like the next question of, you know, do I support other small businesses? And the answer is yes. Before I wasn't too educated on small businesses, you know, I was the person to run to Walmart for everything, to Target for everything, you know, order stuff from Amazon. But after I, you know, started my small business, I came in contact with so many small businesses, whether it was sweets, whether it was, you know, custom Starbucks cups, you know, shirts, just whatever it was. Like, I was able to, you know, come in contact with so many like creative people, you know, and it really just changes your mind on everything, because at the end of the day, you know, you don't know if people are supportive towards you, but you always know that other small businesses will always be there for you. And it's a great way to make friends, like, you know, different type of friends, business owner friends, you know. At the end of the day, you're able to collab with them, you know, for a giveaway, you know, all collab into something. And it's just great to have like that other person that you can vent to, you know, because not everyone understands, you know, the small business. Not everyone understands what we have to go through in a day, and it's nice to talk to someone just like yourself.
How do you price your stuff?
Okay, so I feel like I went a little bit over everything business related, how to start it and stuff. But if you guys have any questions, just let me know. But I will be talking about pricing now. So the way I used to price, I used to rip myself off, to say the least. You know, I wanted orders, so I made my stuff super cheap, you know, super affordable, until I realized, like, you know, a lot of time and effort is going to this, a lot of product is going into this. Like, you know, at the end of the day, if people support you, they will pay the price. And, you know, again, it's not like a mom sob story, but when you have children, it's kind of hard to, you know, not charge what you know you're worth, especially because, you know, at the end of the day, someone is depending on you to feed them, someone is depending on you to put a roof over their head. So you just want to make sure that you're actually charging. So the way I charge is, when they order something, for example, if someone wants just a classic dozen in my eyes is just all chocolate, all white, you know, with some drizzle. So the way I charge it is, if strawberries that day is $7, like $7.96, I think is how like the long pack is, I round it to 8, and there I go. So that would be, sorry. Okay, so like if that big container, like I said, it was like $7.96, I round it to $8. So that would be $8 in my calculator. And then you have the chocolate. So that's also another thing, like the chocolate, that's also another trial and error. You just want to go to different stores, choose out different chocolates, see what works for you. For a long time, I was using candy melts, and candy melts are expensive. Like Wilton anything is super expensive, and you don't get a lot for what it is, and sometimes they don't even melt right, and it was just chaos. So now I used almond bark from Walmart. I'll also link that down below. But you also you want good quality chocolate, but you also want to make sure that it's a chocolate that you can work with and you know is not gonna disappoint you. Like, you may love candy melts and not want to try anything else, but for me personally, candy melts are sometimes a hit or miss. They're never consistent. And with almond bark, I feel like it's always consistent. I always have good reviews from my strawberries. So you just want to make sure that whatever chocolate you choose works for you and your customers, but at the end of the day, make sure it's good quality chocolate. So almond bark is how much? $2. I think it's like $2.30, something like that. So, you know, I would round that to $3. So then you have your 8 for the strawberries, 3 for your chocolate. And then the way I drizzle over my strawberries is I use plastic Ziploc bags. I get them from dollar stores, so, you know, I just add $1, because at the end of the day, you will run out of Ziploc bags and you'll need more. So there goes $1 plus my added to my order. And then you have your packaging. The way I order my boxes, it comes in bulk, so it's like 60 for like $20 or something like that. Or like 100, huh? Yeah. Like 100 for like $40, something like that. But I'll just do like 100 boxes divided by $40, see how much that individual box is. It's about like $2, $3. So then, you know, I just added the $3 to that order for the box. And I use fluff, like little crinkle paper for my orders. So I used to buy that from dollar store, so that was like $1 a bag, and I would only get like fill one box. So, you know, you also want to be on the lookout for, I know it sounds weird, but like Facebook Marketplace, sometimes you can find a lot of stuff for your berries, crinkle paper. Sometimes around Easter, people are just giving out bucket loads, you know. So you just want to make sure that you're always on the lookout. I was lucky enough to find someone who was giving away like 20 boxes of crinkle paper in different colors. So I still have that to this day, and that was from last Easter. So, you know, I only added like $2 for the crinkle paper. And then cupcake liners. The mini cupcake liners are more expensive than the big cupcake liners. And they're usually not a lot per pack. It's like 50 per pack for like
99 cents.
Yeah, like $1. So, you know, there goes another $1 for your cupcake liners. And then you think like, okay, you know, all that's done. But you also want to charge for your time. You don't want to just be doing it for free. And I know at first it's like you don't have to charge, but you want to make sure like, okay, this is gonna take me about an hour. How much would I charge an hour? Okay, I would charge about $10, you know. You just need to know at the end of the day, it's personally up to you and what you think you're worth. So, you know, that would be like, I charge $10 an hour. So, you know, okay, I can get that order done, $10. So then you have your 10. So now you're just gonna add that all up. So give me a second. So you're at $28 just for the dozen, for the classic dozen, which is just, you know, chocolate with white stripes. So now you can leave it at that. When I first started, that's what I would leave it at. I would just leave it at the 28, call it a day, you know, totals 28, whatever. But now that, you know, almost like 10 months, almost a year into my business, I realized that you have to profit. That's the only way that it'll be fun, it'll be worth it. And that's the only way where people like, you know, not everyone is gonna take the time to learn how to make chocolate covered strawberries. So you need to know that what you're doing is special, it is a job, like you need to get paid for it. So, you know, at first I was like, okay, just 28, call it a day. But now, the way I moved up is I'll take that 28 and I'll multiply it by 2. So you can profit 2 times the amount that you spent on all of the supplies. So that's what? 56? That's $56, right? Hold on. I'm pretty sure your income's 216, 2 times 6 4. 56. So, you know, I know a lot of you guys like, oh my god, 56 for just 1 dozen? Like, that's a lot. And if that's a lot to you, you know, you can discount it. Okay, you know, I'll take some off, you know, 45.
When you do that too sometimes. You do that.
Oh yeah, like I'll do that sometimes. I'm like, dang, like that's kind of a lot for just like a simple, you know, dozen. Which I have to work on as well because, you know, my time, I need to know what I'm worth. I need to know just what I'm getting myself into, stuff like that. So I'll be like, you know what, that's a lot, you know, give me 45, whatever. And, you know, once you get really comfortable with your pricing and you're like, you know what, like, I'm a pro, like, what I do is amazing, like, stuff like that, you know, you can multiply by 3, profit 3 times the amount. But you want to make sure that you're getting back what you put into the order and some. You know, you want to make sure that you're not just getting back, putting in, getting back, putting in. You want to make sure that you're getting back what you put in and then more. So, you know, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, of course, you know, don't do that. If you want to give people discounts, go ahead, especially with your regulars, you know, give them like a fixed. I know I have a couple people that whatever they order, it's the same price because they come to me all the time for whatever they need. So, you know, you just need to get comfortable with your following, get comfortable with yourself, but make sure that you're not ripping yourself off because it will hurt you and it will make you hate what you do. For a long time I was like, you know, it's just nothing, like I'm just gonna go back to working what I was doing, you know, at least I knew that I was getting a good check. But, you know, with what I do now, it's better than a check, like it's better than this, like, you know, so you just want to make sure that you're not ripping yourself off. But if you're still too scared, you know, even if the 28, you know, if you want to take a baby step, be like, okay, 30, you know, you get what, $2, you know, you get your $2. So you know, just make sure at the end of the day, it's gonna be up to you what you feel. I personally, whatever total I get, multiply it by 2. You know, that's what you get. If you feel like it's a lot, take some off, but make sure you're around the same, like, price range. Like, just make sure you're not ripping yourself off, especially during off season, because during off season I had to raise my prices because strawberries were incredibly hard to find. I was literally having to go to like the opposite side of town, go into like, you know, random stores and ask the people in the back if they had strawberries. So you just want to make sure that you're making sure you're getting your money's worth, your time's worth. And at the end of the day, like I said, at the end of the day, overall, if people support you, they will pay the price. I'm not saying, you know, scam people and charge them crazy amount for just strawberries, but, you know, make sure, like, you know, people who really support you and really want you to go somewhere, they will pay whatever it takes to see you grow, you know. So at the end of the day, all up to you, but that's the way I price. I price everything individually. I add it, multiply it by 2, and that's how I get my prices for about everything. So I think that's about it. If I did not go over any specific question that you might have had or anything like that, please comment down below. I would gladly answer them, part 2 or whatever. Again, I am on TikTok. That's where a lot of this started, and that's where I got a lot of my following from and so much support. So I will leave that down below as well. And you can ask me questions on there. I usually do a lot, like mini tutorials on there about everything that I do. But again, if I didn't answer anything, please let me know. But I think that is all for the video. I appreciate everyone watching. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe, and thank you for watching.